Hi everyone, I'm Needlecraft Danny. This is flosstube number 149 and I'm here to show you what I stitched on during the first week of 2023. I have a new rotation for this year. Everything's new. So yeah, let's get started. First of all, quick recap. Basically my new rotation for this year is not goal-based anymore. I'm just going to rotate through my projects, doing 1000 stitches on each project and then moving on until I've stitched on all of my projects for at least 1000 stitches, and then I restart basically from the bottom with my projects. There are a few exceptions to that rule. One is birthday stitching, so whenever a project has its birthday, I'm stitching on that one. Travel stitching, I'm not counting. I have focus on a finish Sunday, so every Sunday I decide on a project and just stitch on that project for the whole Sunday. And whip go. Whip go this year I have not put my projects on, but instead I did stuff like 1000 stitches on my oldest project, 500 stitches in red, stuff like that. So that's basically the rotation. So now let's get started what I stitched on over the first week of 2023. On the 1st of January, on Sunday, one of my projects had its birthday, so I stitched on that one. That project is Supersize Max Color Once Upon a Fairy Tale. Artwork is by Amy Stewart, charted by Heaven and Earth Designs. This is the finished piece in a few thousand years. Basically, I have started in that top corner up here. As I said, it has its birthday on the 1st of January. So this year it turned 3 years old. I started it on the 1st of January 2020. And with that, I had a new start. But before I had my new start this year, that was my newest project. So that's kind of cool. So let me show you a picture of what it looked like last time here. And this is where I got to. So I continued in my diagonals with 10 by 10 blocks. I think I had 3 diagonals already done, so I did 5 more of those squares, just in those books over here. Yeah, nothing too exciting, but still very happy with my progress. This is stitched on a 40 count Newcastle linen. I'm stitching 1/110 stitch. Needleminder is from Lakeside Needlecraft. And I love this piece. It looks so cool, so amazing. I can't wait to stitch more and more on this. Over the last few years, it did not get a lot of progress done. As I said, it's now 3 years old. That's not enough progress for 3 years. But hopefully this year I can get a little bit more done on this one. It looks really cool. So yeah, that's Once Upon a Fairy Tale. As this was birthday stitching, it's still in my rotation, so it might come up this week or next week or whenever. Not done yet. And then on the 2nd of January, so on last Monday, a week ago, I then decided I need a new start. I did not have any new start during 2022. My last start, I think, was October 2021. As I said, Once Upon a Fairy Tale has been my newest project because all of the projects I started afterwards, I finished already. And I did not have any non-full coverage project anymore. So I wanted a new start. I wanted it to be a non-full coverage piece, and I wanted it a project that works as shawl stitching. And also one that I really want to get done because I want to hang it in my kitchen. So the one I decided to go with is this one. I cannot pronounce any of anything up here, so I'm not going to try. Basically, if you go to this website down here and you put the website onto English instead of French, you can then Google raspberries and this one comes up. This is not a whole kit, but basically you get the chart including the fabric. I think you can choose between Ada and linen. I went with the linen. I did not count it out, but I did the math, and I think it is a 28 count linen. So this is going to be the finished piece. As I said, it's a new start, so know what it looked like last time. I started in the middle because it is the kit fabric, or the fabric that came with the chart, and therefore I wanted to start in the middle because I did not know how much margin I had. So I started in the middle, did the first color of that leaf in here, and then worked my way to the top, which meant I did one color in the raspberries. To finish off my thread, I started in that raspberry down here, and then I moved my way up to the top, over to the left, so I finished that back stitching there already, doing all the back stitching as I go. So let me show you where I got to. I did not, what's the word? Yeah, there's nothing done to the edges of the fabric because, as you can see, there's a lot of margin. That is the top left corner. So a lot of margin, very nice. As I said, I started in the middle with that first color in that first leaf, and then worked my way further up with the raspberries, and then I moved into, sorry, this is really hard to show. I don't have anything here where I can put it over. I moved into that upper part. This chart has a lot of, so a lot of it you stitch with 2 strands, some of it you stitch with 1 strand. Therefore, there's a lot of different textures and stuff, so that it looks really cool. Yeah, those leaves up here, those 3 leaves are completely done, including the back stitching. This one is completely done. There are 2 French knots. I tried, once again, I can never do them, and once again I failed, so I fudged it. It's not a real French knot, but it looks like a French knot, so I'm fine with that. Yeah, and then I worked my way over here, and now I'm going to start and complete from the top down. I did 1,000 stitches, which basically meant a bit more than 900 cross stitches, and then about 200 backstitch and half stitches, because up here there's 1 thread color that's used with 1 strand of floss full cross and 1 strand of floss half cross to get further difference in texture. So yeah, that were my 1,000 stitches, and then I took it with me as treble stitching, and I got the chance to stitch on it once for 1 length of thread, and that's when I did a bit more over here. So yeah, that's now that. I can start now with some back stitching over here and slowly move my way over here and then further down. As I said, it's the 28 count linen that came with the kit. 1 or 2 strands over 2 with full crosses and half stitches. And the needleminder is from Caterpillar Cross Stitch. Yeah. And when it's done, I really want to have it in my kitchen. It looks amazing. I think I want more than just this one project up there. It's a whole series with a lot of different fruits. So I think I want more than just the raspberries, but the raspberries were my favorites, so I started with those. Yeah. Really want to continue with that. It looks amazing. So hopefully this week a little bit more as treble stitching. It was my new start on the 2nd. It took me until the 3rd to finish my 1,000 stitches. And when I did, I then wrote a piece of paper to put it into my rotation as well, because I hadn't started my rotation yet, and therefore the new start came into the rotation as well. So this one will be up in my rotation soonish. So on Tuesday, I finished off the last of my raspberries, and then I started with my new rotation, with the first project of my new rotation. I already pulled a piece of paper, so basically all my projects are in boxes like that. And I pulled the first piece of paper in my Whipperate, I think, and the project that they've chosen as my first project is Supersize Max Color Cliffhanger, artwork by Amy Stewart, charted by Have Enough Designs. This is going to be the finished piece, and I show a picture of what it looked like last time here. And this is where I got to. So I'm stitching on this page down here. And this one I stitched random pages. Basically, I started in the top left corner, stitched that first page. And whenever I had finished a page, I put all the adjoining pages in Wheel on the Tiny Decisions app and let the app decide which page would be next. So that's why it looks like the way it looks. Right now I'm on this page down here, and basically I go through the color list from top to bottom, so from beginning at 1 and then going further down until the bottom. And right now I'm somewhere in the 800s, I think, and then I did 1,000 stitches. This is stitched on 40 count Newcastle linen. I'm stitching 1/110 stitches and very happy with where I'm at. Still quite a lot to go for the page finish, so probably 2 or 3 more rotations until I will reach that, but still very happy with what 1,000 stitches did. It looks really cool. Especially considering last year I did 4,000 stitches overall the whole year on this project. So starting with 1,000 stitches in the first week is really nice. Yeah, that's that. It took me 3 days to finish my 1,000 stitches on this one, which is okay. A few of those days were work days, so I probably, if I had free time, I would have been able to do it in 2 days for sure, maybe even 1 day, but 3 days is totally okay. So yeah, that's Cliffhanger. And that was the first project for my rotation. The first project I really stitched on for this year. Yeah, that's that. Then, as I said, it took me 3 days, so until Thursday. And on Friday, I then started with my next project. So I, once again, drew one piece of paper out of my box, and the project that got chosen was Starkeep the Frog Prince, also charted by Haven of Design. The artwork is by Melanie Dillon. This is going to be the finished piece, and I show a picture of what it looked like last time here. And this is where I got to. So once again, goal were 1,000 stitches, and I managed to do those in 2 days. So I finished my 1,000 stitches on Saturday evening. This one is once again stitched in diagonals, 10 by 10 blocks. I think I started up here, did my 10 blocks, and now I'm down here. So I went through all of her. A lot of her hair, which was really nice stitching because that was a 10 by 10 block, just black. That's fast. Then I went into her face. That wasn't fast, but it looks amazing. And then more in her dress. And yeah, now I'm in background for the rest of the diagonal. And then I will start back up in the next diagonal next time I stitch on this one. This is stitched on a 32 count, a light blue linen. And I'm stitching 2/110 stitch needleminder from Denker Designs. It looks amazing. And on this one, I now reached 30,000 stitches done. That's pretty cool. I have no idea what that means percentage-wise. But I think I'm getting close to a quarter done. But yeah, over 30,000 stitches now completed on this one. And it looks amazing. That face is just, I think with the next diagonal, I will finish off that face, and it looks so cool. It looks really good. Very happy with that. So yeah, that's that. As I said, I finished my 1,000 stitches on Saturday, which meant or means for Sunday I would have started a new rotation if it weren't, or a new project if it weren't for Focus on a Finish Sunday. That means I decide for one project. It can be a complete finish, but it also can mean I focus on a page finish, or I focus on whatever I want to reach. Maybe a detail that I want to finish, stuff like that. In this case, it actually means focus on a complete finish. because I decided to stitch on Mini Cinderella by Heaven and Earth Designs, the artwork is by Alexandra Daw. This is my smallest piece, or my smallest full coverage piece at the moment, and I really, really, really want to finish it as soon as possible. So at the moment, for Focus on Finish Sunday, most Sundays I probably will stitch on this one. So let me show you a picture of what it looked like last time here. And this is where I got to. So once again, very happy with that. I actually did close to 1,000 stitches yesterday on this project. With this one, I have finished the top row of pages, so the first 4 pages, and I also finished page number 5. And now I'm just going through the pages, picking the first symbol, highest up, left to right, that's missing, and stitch 1 length thread, and then I move on to the next page until I reached page number 12. 9. Page number 9. No, 12. 12 is correct. Until I did that on page number 12, and then I moved back up to do that once again. And I did, as I said, close to 1,000 stitches, I think, and 1 length of thread on every page. So in here I did some gray. Over here I think was some off-white over here, and then more white over there. Down here I did a lot more white, and over here a gray that then moved into that part over here. So I finished a lot on the mouse and on this left side of the pumpkin. That is now close to done. There are 2 or 3 stitches missing in that left side of the pumpkin, so that's really exciting. Then I moved over here and over here. So yeah, that's that. This is stitched on a 28 count light blue linen. Light blue even weave. I think it's even weave. And I'm stitching 1/1 4 crosses. Needleminder is from Denka Designs. And yeah, that's that. So that's everything I stitched on. Plans for this week. I'm going to take raspberries as my turtle stitching. Hopefully this time or this week getting a little bit more done. Just because I want to. Then I need to start with my WebGo goals for this month. So for January, there is one called 1,000 Stitches on a project a friend chooses, which I haven't asked that friend yet. So that has to wait. That's going to happen next week. So I'm going to ask her sometime this week which project she wants me to stitch on. And then that's going to happen next week. The other one is 500 stitches in black. So that one is going to happen on Mini Cinderella. I had 2 projects, I think, where I thought, okay, I have a lot of black and I can just stitch on the black. Mini Cinderella being one of those, so I went with Mini Cinderella, and I'm just going to go from top to bottom, going through the pages and just stitching black. I think there are overall a bit more than 1,200 black stitches left in that piece, so I'm probably going to finish close to half of the black stitches left. That's nice. That's the project I'm going to start my week with. So today and probably also tomorrow, today is busy, I'm going to try and finish 500 stitches in black on Mini Cinderella. And then whenever that's finished, I'm going to start again with my rotation. Let me bring this up. So those are the 2 projects. Why is there only one that? Oh, I haven't put Story Keep the frog prints back in there yet. So those are 2 projects I have already finished my 1,000 stitches on for this rotation. So those are going to be over here. And those are the other projects where I haven't finished my 1,000 stitch rotation on yet. So I'm going to pull one of those now to see what I'm going to stitch on after 500 stitches in black on Mini Cinderella are done. So let's see what the next project then will be. Sorry. Mini Magic Mirror. So another Heaven and Earth Designs. I'm not going to get it right now. But yeah, that's the one I'm going to then start stitching on whenever Mini Cinderella is done. Going for the 1,000 stitches, and whenever the 1,000 stitches on Mini Magic Mirror are done, I'm going to pick the next project. But that's going to happen off camera. So yeah, that's everything. I hope you enjoyed. And I will be back next Monday. Until then. Bye!